Oh man, let's get into it. I love listening to Joe talk about this subject, and then the fact that he's able to actually have a Kennedy on the podcast, but they don't talk about it. And we're talking about the JFK assassination. Also, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., his father being assassinated, and John F. Kennedy Jr. disappearing in that plane. I don't believe they ever found his body. Very sad story. I myself do believe that was like the third assassination, because I think that man could have easily been president, very easily. Very, very easily. Let's get into it. So Joe Rogan is going to ask Robert F. Kennedy about, what about you? Like, are you going to take any precautions? Do you feel the fear of assassination looming as you try to step into presidency? Because that's what happened with his uncle, and that's exactly what happened with his father. So let's get into that. Before I bring you to that, though, I got to show you the store. Sold Not For Sale. These are the t-shirts that we got here. All right. Get a t-shirt if you feel called to. I know it is summertime. Not everybody likes to wear heavy sweatshirts like I do all summer long. Or we got the anti-WEF t-shirt. Mine's coming in very soon. I can't wait for that, because it is getting rough wearing these sweaters when it's summertime right now. And then we have the latest design, the Great Resist. There will be more designs coming out, guys, but this one is the one I'm most proud of right now. Kind of. I love the Sold Not For Sale one, because that one really means something. I really had to make a statement, and that statement still stands, just in case those people in the shadows, those people, they want to proposition me. They just have to know it's not for sale. Sorry. But if you're somebody who's bought anything off the site, that site is iamcoachcolin.com. If you've purchased something, you're much appreciated. Thank you so much. It means so much to us, more than I think you even realize. Now let's get into a clip. Not the exact clip, but let's hear Joe Rogan talk about JFK assassination just a little bit, because I love it.
It's because I can learn a lot from a person in what their opinion is. Like, what do you think happened? Oh, Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. You get these very specific character types, where these people have these predetermined patterns that they plug into.
Sure.
And the Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone is one of the weirder ones.
Yeah, sure.
That is one of the weirdest arguments. And when I talk to them about the magic bullet, and they go, well, that's actually been proven that can happen. I mean, that drives me nuts.
Yeah, sure.
Because I'm a guy who shoots guns. I'm a hunter. Yeah. And I know what happens when bullets hit bones. It doesn't ever come out like that, ever.
And also, I think it was a hell of a shot.
Well, the hell of a shot can happen. I don't think it's that bad of I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think that's overstated. There's many things that are overstated. One of the things that's overstated is the scope was off. People always say, well, the scope was off. Well, fucking anything can knock a scope off. You can drop a gun in the evidence room and the scope's off. Yeah. That's nonsense. That's people who don't understand guns. Yeah. But the bullet hitting those two people and finding its way onto Connolly's gurney magically with very little distortion in the bullet at all is straight up horseshit. Yep. And the fact that still gets touted as being, well, this is actually how it could have happened, and weird things happen with bullets. Sure, weird things happen with bullets, but one weird thing that never happens with bullets is when they hit bone and shatter bone, they always distort. Yeah. Always.
Yeah, I'm making it. I've made a documentary. It's almost finished. About we went back to the case again, taking all the information from the Assassination Records Review Board that came out of the film. They passed an act, the JFK Act. Congress did. It was amazing, and they allowed the board to exist for 5 years, and they went through a lot of detail. They weren't out to prove anything, but they found a lot of little detail that we put into this documentary, which I think you'll love.
I'm sure I'll love it.
It goes into CE 399, the bullet, but it also goes into so much else on the autopsy that's screwed up.
The two autopsies, the one in Bethesda and also the one in Dallas.
There was none in Dallas.
Joe literally knows everything about this topic. Here, I'm going to play another clip. He knows everything about this. There's been at least, I want to say 6 podcasts where he's talked about this topic at length. And I'm on board with him. I don't believe the bullet story. I never believe an acted alone story. I do not believe that when people who are high profile get taken out, I never believe that it's just some crazy person. I never believe that. And also, my wife did some research, and I think she was talking about Lee Harvey Oswald ending up with some Cuban operative. You know what? That's the next episode my wife and I are doing. I've decided. She was trying to think of it. We're doing the JFK thing. But Lee Harvey Oswald, not only was he in Russia, he was with somebody who was like Cuban trained, and there's so much to that story, so much to it. Here, let's hear another quick clip.
And the belief that a handful of those Cubans may have been involved in the Kennedy assassination, along with the Italians, with the mob, because they were working hand in hand with the CIA.
Yeah, that was one of the leading conspiracies outside of the CIA killing him. And even the CIA killing him was a part of the Bay of Pigs conspiracy, and also the idea that he wanted to disband the CIA. There was a really interesting article recently that was dismissing almost every single conspiracy theory about the Kennedy assassination. They said except the CIA one. There's legitimate possibilities that the CIA...
Well, you can bet your ass that if the CIA was involved, then Cubans were involved.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you something. In the book, you speak about Fidel's mistress.
Yeah.
That he got
He only had
disenchanted with her at this particular one.
Marita.
She had gone to New Orleans or to Dallas.
Marita Loren.
This is very interesting.
Notorious figure. She had a child with him and had an abortion and didn't have the child. She got pregnant with Fidel. In fact, Castro admitted as much. She got pregnant with Castro. She had an abortion. And then the CIA used her to try.
I wonder who that lady was. I wonder if that lady had any association with the past Prime Minister of Canada. All right, let's go to the legit clip. I'm just playing around. Let's go to the legit clip. Let's switch it over. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert F. Kennedy. This is the last clip that I have of this podcast. It's been a doozy. This is the last one, and it's been an incredible podcast. And if you have not watched the full thing, I suggest you take the time while you're driving or whatever you're doing and take a listen, because not only is it informative, it's inspiring, it's hopeful, it's the reason that podcasts exist. Podcasts exist for UFO and all sorts of wild talk, but this is another reason that's arisen that podcasts exist. To hear great men talk about great aspirations. So let's get into this last clip.
That a lot more. And, we should be projecting economic power around the globe and not military power. It will make us much stronger.
But what do you think happens when you get into office? Like, if you're talking about your uncle who's assassinated and you believe the intelligence agencies were a part of that, what happens to you?
Well, I got to be careful. I'm aware of that, and I'm not, I'm aware of that danger, and I don't live in fear of it, at all. But I'm not stupid about it, and I take precautions. So, I do things that I don't want to do and I live my life now, in ways that I don't want to. I like to be out, shaking hands with people and going alone into communities, and there's things I can't do anymore, but I do it because I know those risks exist, and I know that I, pose a big threat to many vested interests that, and that there is a danger in that.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up here. That was 3 hours.
Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate talking to you.
That is the end of that podcast. There's very few podcasts that I cover where I find clips right from the beginning to end, and I'll probably be doing a extended version of all of these clips. Well, more so the medical stuff on like a Twitter show or something that's a little less censored. Probably Spotify and Twitter kind of thing. But yeah, this guy knows. This guy knows that there's a possibility that he could be taken out, that there could be attempts on his life. Maybe there already have been that we haven't heard about. And yet he still pushes on. And when somebody does that, in my mind, I don't see them doing it for power. I see them doing it for people. I see them doing it for a nation. And that's the feeling I get from him. And I think it's absolutely amazing. It's been amazing to hear him speak, and it's amazing to see his bravery, because if you talked about possible assassination with me or most other people, there'd be like a lot more fear. I'd probably go into tears myself, because, you know, he's a person. You have all the things that a person has. You have children, you have a wife, you have aspirations, you have the will to want to live other days, see your grandkids, see them go through all the stages of life, you know, have your friends, just live. And when somebody's willing to put something like this in front of all that, possibly, says a lot. Says a lot. So, guys, like the video. Please like the video. It helps so much. Help boost us out of the shadow realm. But yeah, that's it. Other than that, I am out.